Hello, my name is Jacqueline Francis, otherwise known as Francie Things. My current art style, I would say, is abstract. I tend to really gravitate towards that. I've been doing art since I was a child. I started out with stick figures. I think everyone does, really, or at least most people. But I started there. I did get into character design for a little bit, but it just didn't quite hit the heartstrings, and not in the way that abstract does. I can't quite describe it. It's really euphoric to do abstract. It's wonderful. Previously, I think throughout my art career, I've used quite a lot of different mediums. Not a ton, but a couple. Definitely pen and pencil basics, chalk, charcoal, oil paint, acrylic paint, watercolor, plaster, clay, limestone. I do my nails as well, so I'm very good at nail art, the small little details. I think out of everything that I've used so far as like physical mediums, I like watercolor the best. I like the look, I like the feel, I like the technique with it. It's just peaceful. It's serene, it's wonderful, and you can create just such beautiful things. But currently, I've been using my iPad for with digital for about, I would say, 2 years, almost 2.5. It's been my life since I got that. Oh my goodness. It's like having every medium at your fingertips. Not physically, but it's close. It's very close. As far as what influences me as far as my art goes, there's quite a lot. Growing up, sadly, I went through a lot of trauma with my parents. They were very emotionally abusive, and it tends to, I don't know, it tends to create some pretty bad days, is the best way to describe it. But art helps me cope with some of those memories and kind of help get past them. Probably the best way to describe it. A lot of influence comes from video games. I was raised with video games. I remember when I got my first PlayStation, Lisa Frank. That's where I got my love for color. Oh my goodness, I was obsessed. My mental health does influence my art a lot. I've learned throughout the years I have a couple mental health disorders. I have borderline personality disorder, bipolar disorder type 2, along with synesthesia. The last one was probably the best thing I could have heard as far as like, oh, you have this. That's not the worst thing. It's really not. And if anything, it's been kind of a blessing because it kind of opened up a whole new gate for my artwork because I never quite understood why I would see these almost kind of like kaleidoscope shapes when I would do things or like listen to music. And then I got it checked out one day because I was like, I'm not doing this. What am I doing? And it was amazing. And then after that, I just kind of I went with it. I finally embraced it and just let it kind of flow. And with different brushes and everything that you have with Procreate, it just expanded from there and it went off. Oh man. The beauty of bipolar disorder is sometimes I have moments of hyper creativity and I can just go. And it's not me creating the same thing over and over again. It's different things each time, and it's amazing. But art literally saves my life some days because it truly is my number one coping mechanism. If I have insomnia, I get up and I draw it out. Usually by the time I'm done drawing it, I'm tired. My negative thoughts are gone. I put all of it into that piece and I can just go to bed. It's almost like a dream catcher almost, but for emotions. And I can be pretty hot-headed with bipolar disorder. I can sometimes, just like the flick of a switch, just go from being really nice to just, I hate you, get away from me type deal. Like, it's rough some days. It really is. And art's kind of my way of, I guess, creating beauty in the world rather than creating destruction with my anger. I have a way to channel that anger to create something beautiful, not to hurt people around me, hurt myself, which sometimes I've done. But it it's wonderful. It's my passion, it's my life. It keeps me from going insane. It really does. But yeah, I tend to gravitate a lot more towards abstract rather than anything else. I think it's the best way for me to express my feelings on paper a lot better. I just couldn't get that same translation with character art, and I think that's why I fell in love with abstract a lot more. Because I can just take the brush or take the pencil and just, I'm angry, alright, here's some anger. You're sad, alright, here's some sadness. And sometimes it's just a perfect translation of what I'm feeling. Like, I look at it and I'm like, yes, that is what I was feeling at that moment. And I've even had a couple friends do the same thing. They're like, are you okay? Because sometimes when I go through a bad bipolar episode, I tend to draw in red and blue, vibrant red and blue. And it just happens subconsciously. And my friends have picked up on it and they're like, are you okay? So it's a way for me to kind of channel everything to where I can communicate. But I was really nervous about making this video. It really was. I woke up this morning and I actually saw you guys on my Google News feed, and I was like, that looks like a really cool website. And it took me about an hour to find the apply button. Not your guys' fault. That's on me. That's totally my bad. So I am really excited. So whatever the outcome is, I hope you guys have a good day.